Because if you act like you don't really want to do it, you know if you don't really want to do it.
Well, you know, God gives us a circle that we're responsible for. And as we grow as Christians, we are more astutely aware of the needs of those people that are in our circle of responsibility. And therefore we are drawn to our knees in prayer for that circle of people. And each one of those people have tremendous needs. Mm-hmm. And how you cannot spend that time in prayer, not for myself, mm-hmm. but for those that God has given me and that I am responsible for who He is, that they know that, then everything about their life is important to me, and I know it's important to the Lord. So I bring them before the Lord, ask the Lord to reveal Himself to them, to protect them, to draw them to it's just an awareness of the needs, and then you extend it on out to those that we don't know, those that are unsaved, those that are struggling with health issues or financial issues. And then we go out to the community, and then we go out to the nation, and our president, and our church, and our pastor. I mean, there's so many that God has given us the responsibility to pray for, that I don't know if you can do that in 5 minutes.
Exactly. But see, that again, you hear all of what she said, everybody heard what she said, right? So that, listening to what she said, you can clearly determine she has a strong relationship with Christ, can't you? Can't you? Because she's included the globe. She's included everybody. And I've had people ask me, why in the devil would I pray for our president? I swear, I get that question. I'm like, you should pray for the president. They're like, no, we're not praying for him. We're not praying for him. And,
well, you're supposed to love your enemies and pray for them.
But is he my enemy? No, I don't even know the man. But the point is, he is placed in a position, and the Bible says that God places those in government. He's on the shoulders of those in government. He is the one over them. So we can go to the ballot all day long.
Well, the Lord put him there.
Exactly. Well, girl, I need to hang out with you. I swear, you need to just come on and hang out with me, Diane. The next time I go out in the mission field, I'm coming.
You would see my clay thing.
I'm coming to get you, Diane. I'm coming to get you, because you can't try to get people to understand. And I truly believe, because I love reading the Word so much, and I just dig in it. I dig in it. And I truly believe that we're living in a time like Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon. That's kind of how I see our current administration in our world, our country. You know what I mean? And so how did the Israelites end up in Babylon? They did that to themselves. It wasn't like God just decided, oh, because I feel like doing something different today, I'm going to throw you into captivity. No, they were not doing the things that He wanted them to do. They were not. They was complaining. They had idols. They had a lot of stuff going on. And God think y'all need a break. Y'all just need a break. Y'all need to see just how good I've been to you. That's what y'all need. So I'm going to throw you into a situation where you're not going to have all these privileges you had before. You're not going to have all these blessings that you complained about. You're not going to be able to do that. And then I want y'all to see, when you come out, just how good you had it. I really believe that we're just going through another one of those cycles, to where God is saying that Chronicles 7:14 moment. If my people who are called by my name would just humble themselves and pray and repent from their sins, then I will heal the land. You see, I think God is just calling us back to prayer. Back to prayer. Stop relying on the doctrinal radar. It's wrong 80% of the time. So why are you, I lived in Florida for a year and a half. And they have hurricane season in Florida from June to November, which I didn't know when I moved to Florida. In June. I had no idea. But by July, I'm asking asking people, when is the rain going to stop? It's raining every day almost. And I'm not talking about sprinkling, I'm talking about torrential type rain. I'm like, when is this going to stop? And everybody was saying November. I'm like, November? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? It's going to rain like this till November. I mean, literally, you might have 2 days out of the week that it doesn't rain and 5 days out of the week that it does rain. For all those months. But yet I would turn on the news in the morning and they say, great day today. No rain.
Until 3.
No rain. No. Some days they said no rain today. I had a 30-minute drive to work every day. I wouldn't get to work before it started raining. I would just want to go to my job. So many times I sold cars. I got to my job and I would say, I want to get the number to the man at the TV station. Because he don't know the thing to fire him. He don't know what he's doing. Then I talked to some of my other co-workers and they were like, well, I don't even watch that channel. I heard the same thing on CNN. I'm like, now I don't know what they're doing because they said no rain. And here now we're not going to sell any cars today because it is obviously raining out there. I mean, torrentially raining. And I was 6 blocks from the beach. So I got a chance to see that whole hurricane process. At one point, the water was all the way up to the street. Like, I had never seen a beach that you can't see the beach. You know what I mean? I didn't know that could actually happen. You know, that I couldn't see any sand whatsoever.
Wow.
The water was all the way up to the street almost. There was no sand. And I'm thinking, Lord, please don't let that water jump that curb. Please, I start having Hurricane Katrina kind of visions. You know, Lord, please don't. I'm only 6 blocks down the road. Please keep the water up on that side of the curb. And then they had this thing called red waves or red something. I can't remember what it was. Red something. Where whenever after we had a big storm, the ocean was red. So the waves, you see the waves coming, and they were red.
Never seen that before.
Because the current underneath, the wind and the waves that were underneath at the bottom of the ocean stir up the ocean. And that brings that redness to the water, is what I was explaining. So it's like all the stuff that's down in the ocean, the dirt, and the stuff that settles to the bottom of the ocean. When we have hurricanes and stuff, it's coming from the bottom of it. It's not coming from the top of the water, it's coming from the bottom.
So we can use that analogy as when the Lord brings storms into our life, He's purifying us.
There you go. But the first time I saw the red water, I was like, oh my God, we're never swimming in that again. We're not going, what is it? See, I wasn't going to say that. Did you hear me say Dr. Charles? I wasn't going to say it, but you know I was thinking it, right? You know I was thinking it, right? But I was like, we're not swimming in that. But then a couple days later, the water was back to the regular color that it's supposed to be. And so, you learn that we need to really just depend on God. Because man is never going to be able to direct us where we need to go. Man is never going to be correct in his assumption of where you're supposed to be. And we need not rely on that. And we really, it's difficult at times because you want to trust that your pastor knows, your mama knows, your daddy knows, your spouse knows. Even as parents, we want to trust that we know what's best for our children. Jesus. We say, we want to know what's best for our children. Well, I'm down to child number 5. I'm down to the last one 2 years ago. Praise the Lord. Y'all pray for me through these 2 years. But I thought each one of my children that I had thought were going to go in this direction went in a totally different direction. All 4, well, except one. Except one. One at 13 decided what she wanted to do and she stayed on that path. But the other 3 had no clue. I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Now they're adults doing, never, especially like my middle child. My middle child was like, she didn't have a lot of common sense. I used to pray for her a lot. And I'm like, Lord, please help her to understand how this world operates. Please help her to get it. And that child is the child that has just built a home from the ground, she went straight into a career at Delta Airlines. She didn't just get a job. Her first job was going to be her last job because she said, I'm retiring from this place. That's it. Now, never would I have thought she'd have figured her life out like that. That was No, I didn't think that was going to happen. So when we're praying for people, be careful what we pray and how we pray. Because we don't know what God's plans are for that person. Let our prayer be whatever your will is for this person. Let your will be done. And whatever I can do to assist you in the process with this person, use me. Because you don't know what he's telling you to do either. So you don't want to be specific about what you should be doing either. Lord, let me provide food for the homeless, or let me provide. Maybe that's not your call. Maybe that's not exactly what he wants you to do. So when you're praying, keep it simple and be specific. The Bible tells us that. Be specific with your prayers. You can't, if you leave it out there wide open, God can give you anything because he's God, right? And he doesn't mind. A lot of people say, well, who am I to tell God what I want? Well, God knows what you want, whether you tell him or not. But he's asking us to tell him what we want. Give him something to work with. How many of y'all used to play with Play-Doh? And if you have grandkids, you're still playing with Play-Doh. Or if you have little kids, you're still playing with Play-Doh. But if you made something with some Play-Doh, and you came back to it maybe 20 minutes later, you could make something else with that Play-Doh. But if you made something with that Play-Doh, and it accidentally got under the bed or somewhere else, and you didn't discover it until a couple weeks later, whatever you made with that Play-Doh is what that Play-Doh was going to be. Because it was hard as a rock, right? It was no longer manageable. We figured out a way around that, because if you put it in water, it'll come back. But that's what you do when you grow up underprivileged and disadvantaged. you learn how to do things that other people haven't quite yet figured out how to do, and you learn how to create stuff out of stuff that really wasn't meant to be used for that reason, but you make it work. So we learned how to make the Play-Doh come back, because we wasn't going to get any more. We just going to get those 4 containers that you got in the beginning, get more, so we make it work. So when you're praying for people, as our lesson says, keep it simple, be specific, and most importantly, you have to believe when you pray. You got to believe it. Because if you are going to God with a request that you don't think he can feel, what's the point? Would you go to Publix for a pair of shoes? Would you? Would you go to Macy's for watermelon? No. So if you're going to God for a specific thing, let him know what that is. But then you got to believe. Because when you get in your car and you turn the key and you head to Publix, for whatever item that is you go in there to get, believe they have it in that store, right? Why? Because they're a grocery store. They're supposed to have it, right? I need mayonnaise, or I need bread, or I need milk. And I walk into a grocery store and they don't have milk, I got a problem with that, especially since they haven't predicted a snowstorm in Alabama. So, which amazes me still, because I'm from Buffalo, so I don't know why people go get milk. When they say it's going to snow in Alabama, I don't get that. I don't think people in Alabama know why they go get milk. They just know you're supposed to go get milk and bread. I think that's why they do it. I've explained that since I've been here a lot of times, because we do it because the milk truck and the bread truck is not going to be able to get there for the next week or two, because we got blizzard. But y'all snow going to be melted in the morning. The truck will be here tomorrow. You don't have to get out the milk and bread today. Snow's not going to last. So my advice to you guys is, when you go to God and you're asking God for whatever it is you're asking God for, believe that he can do it. Believe that he can do it. Because faith and prayer go hand in hand. If you have no faith, don't bother praying. Because you guys heard that saying? If you're going to pray, don't worry. If you're going to worry, don't pray. How many of y'all heard that?
I've heard it, but I don't do it.
Yeah, right. Because you've heard it before, right? But that's true. Because if you're going to worry, what's your point in praying? Because again, it goes back to what my grandmother said. Leave it at the altar.
always consider worry as part of prayer. Lord, I'm worrying about this, but you answered this prayer, so I don't have to worry about it anymore.
I think as humans, it's difficult not to worry. You know, I think maybe he doesn't literally, but he says again in that same chapter. That's why I said when you have a new Christian, that you have somebody new you're introducing, you can get, a lot of pastors have different variations on how to start out discipling a new Christian. You know, some pastors say go straight to the Gospels. Some pastors say go, straight to the beginning of the Bible. You know, different people have different ways they think. Personally, in my ministry, I go straight to Romans.
Romans and John.
I go straight to Romans with the people I minister to because they need to hear it straight from the hip. And Paul came straight from the hip in Romans 7. For the people that I'm ministering to in prison and that are addicted to drugs and going through things that they have had repetitious cycles with, and they keep saying, why do I keep on ending up in the same place? Well, let me tell you about a man named Paul. Let's go check Paul out. And then let me tell you what Paul's story is. I mean, literally, Paul is one of the few people that can say they met Jesus. Literally, I mean, he just did knock you off your horse and showed up. Hey, you. I'm the one you've been talking about. So what is it that you want to say to me now that I'm here? I don't exist? Is that what you said? Well then, what you see now? You see what I'm saying? So now here Paul is in Romans 7 saying, what I will to do, that I don't do. But what I will not do, that I do. So what are you doing as a baby Christian? Because you remember there's also scripture where Paul goes through a whole long list of all of his credentials. You know what I mean? I'm the Hebrew of Hebrews. I'm the this, I'm that. I've been there. I've been lashed this many times. I've been gone. So I mean, he's going through all that, and he's still struggling with something. Something to a point that he's going to God 3 times saying, can you please stop me from doing this? Once, twice, 3 times, the Bible says. That thorn in his flesh. He said, can you please get it out? And we still don't know what it is. Nobody knows what that is. I read a lot of theology books. I haven't come across one yet that somebody actually can pinpoint what that thorn was. We don't know what it is. And I think that is good as that way because it helps us. Because whatever our issue is becomes our thorn. But God's response was, my grace is sufficient. So in spite of all that Paul had done, killing Christians. Because when I'm in the prison and people say, well, can he forgive me for murder? Is he going to forgive me for rape? Is he going to forgive me? I mean, because my husband will tell you, I minister to men a lot.
But what was Paul's greatest error?
Disbelief, I think.
And that manifested itself killing Christians.
Right.
And he had to live with that knowledge that he had killed Christians, that he had done this before he met the Lord. And some people think that was Paul's thorn, was that he never was able to escape that memory, especially Stephen.
That's interesting. That's the first time I've heard that one. That's good. Thank you. Because I've heard a whole lot of what the thorn might be.
Blindness,
but I've heard a lot of different things.
He grieved in his spirit because of the things that he had done as a non-Christian. And as you say, murder, rape. We see mothers who have taken the lives of their children. And we know that even though God has forgiven and delivered, they cannot escape that memory. And we hear ladies talk about abortion, and 50 years down the road, they're still grieving for that unborn child. And except for the grace of God, there go I. But, even though they know that they have been forgiven, they still have that memory of where they failed.
Right.
And so often we do fail, and we fail miserably, as David did, as Paul did, as all of our heroes in the Bible. At some season in their life, they failed, and they had that memory. I'm sure that Peter carried the memory.
Of course. But again, I'm loving Diane, I promise you, God's going to heal you so tremendously because you got work to do. And I'm coming to get you. I promise you I'm coming to get you. Because, you know, every person she just named, think about their life story. None of them were what we would consider worthy to be called to the positions they wound up being called to.
Amen.
Every one of them had a real scarred past. Things we haven't even thought about.
Right.
Peter denied Jesus 3 times and preached the best sermon ever preached. There is a pastor on this earth, and God knows I love Billy Graham. Right. Billy Graham fills stadiums full of people. But they weren't head counting whoever said I'm saving, I'm giving my life to Christ. So we don't know if 3,000 people on any one of those occasions decided to give their life to Christ. But we do have a record in the Bible that 3,000 individuals surrendered their life to Christ from one sermon, the first sermon that Peter preached. Without any theology school, without any pastoral preparation, other than his journey with Jesus. You see, he never had any formal training on how to preach a sermon other than the life of Jesus. And that's what we have to do. As we wrap up our lesson today, while you're praying, again, keep it simple, be specific, and believe that what you're praying for will come to pass. And it may not be in your time. Don't get weary. Don't be discouraged. We don't serve the God that you